Hi folks, welcome to today's color process video. Right, continuing what I was saying in the previous video for like the previous comic, I'm beginning to feel with my colors that I want to focus more on readability than creating like the nicest pages ever. Not that I don't want my work to look nice, but um, I'm beginning to feel more and more that um, I I want things to be like more immediate. That there isn't like a lot of different things to parse. That like you look at the page and you look at the panels and you instantly get what you're looking at. Um, and I feel this is kind of like a natural progression for my color work, where for a good while I was like really focused on making the nicest looking pages I could, and I feel when you do that, that's a perfectly that is a perfectly good attitude to have. However, you can fall into the trap, and I certainly fell into it, of throwing down color for the sake of putting it there. And I don't know, like I feel that my color work of late, while it may not be as immediately eye popping, that sounds kind of full of myself, but yeah, I'll go with it. Like, it may not be quite as like eye popping as some of my older work, but I do feel there is more confidence to this style of work, of like knowing what not to do as well as knowing what to do. It's the same as like drawing, like where with drawing you come to realize that adding line work for the sake of doing so, it can, if anything, actually take away from the work. And I feel the same. Obviously, the same applies to color. Like if you're just laying down colors for the sake of it, for the sake of like filling space, then I think that shows like a lack of confidence. Um, so like I think ever since I've returned from like this the kind of a break I took from my work, I have noticed that like barring one or two comics, um, yeah, I have grown more confident with not doing things when it comes to coloring. So I mean, like when you look at this one, that background, it's just a flat color. Like I was thinking of adding like lots of like nice gradient effects and everything to it, but I felt, I asked myself, what purpose does that serve to the narrative? Adding like like gradients and shading effects and whatnot, and I couldn't answer that question. Like they're the comic reads perfectly fine and looks perfectly fine with just the flat background. And if anything, I think it wouldn't have looked near as good if I did add some kind of a gradient effect. And also with the shading on the character himself, like I was thinking about leaving him just like completely flat with no shading whatsoever, but I felt things would have looked a bit too flat in that case. And also, I felt I could do some interesting stuff with the lighting to better serve the narrative. Like for example, the in the first panel, like everything's lit from the top, so there's more focus on the bottle being grabbed by the guy's hand. And then in the final panel, I have like this like backlight on him, but I don't have any shading on his eyes, just to make him look more angry and intense in that last panel. Um, and yeah, so overall, I am pretty happy with how this one turned out. Like, I think the best compliment I could give it is that not only do I think this would look good in a book, I think it would look good like on a on a T-shirt or something like that. So I think I might even make this available as a T-shirt design. So yeah, yeah, I think that's everything. So I will leave it at that. Thank you very much for watching, and I will talk to you at the next video. Take care.